When my girlfriend, Emma, first brought up the idea of an open relationship, I honestly thought she was joking. We'd been together for almost 3 years, and in my mind, things were going well. We laughed a lot, shared the same tastes in movies, traveled together, and had big plans for the future. But one evening, over dinner, she put down her fork, looked me straight in the eyes, and said she wanted to explore other options while still being with me. My stomach dropped. She framed it as something healthy for us, claiming it would strengthen our bond. But all I heard was that she wanted to see other men. I tried to stay calm and asked her why. She admitted she had been talking to a guy from work and was curious about what else was out there. That stung more than I could put into words. My mind went blank for a moment. Instead of arguing, I nodded slowly and told her if that's what she truly wanted, she could have it. But she wouldn't be having it with me. Her expression changed instantly. She didn't expect me to actually let her go. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and told her we were done. The first week after the breakup was rough. I missed her voice, her scent, and the little routines we had. I almost caved and called her, but I kept reminding myself that the woman I loved had already checked out of our relationship long before that dinner. I focused on work, hung out with friends, and tried to rediscover who I was outside of being Emma's boyfriend. Meanwhile, mutual friends told me Emma had quickly moved on to that coworker she'd mentioned. They said she looked happy, always posting couple selfies and flirty captions on social media. At first, it hurt. It felt like she'd replaced me so easily. But then I noticed something. She was trying too hard to show the world she was living her best life. The captions seemed forced, and the smiles in the photos didn't quite reach her eyes. I decided to take a social media break, not because of her, but for my own peace of mind. That's when my life began to shift. Without scrolling endlessly, I had more time to focus on myself. I started going to the gym regularly, picked up photography, and even joined a weekend hiking group. I met new people who didn't know me as half of a couple, just as me, Jake. It was liberating. One Saturday during a hiking trip, I met Sarah. She was witty, adventurous, and had this contagious energy that made people around her feel alive. We hit it off instantly. At first, it was just casual conversations and shared snacks on the trail, but over the weeks, we started seeing each other outside the hikes. Unlike my relationship with Emma, nothing felt forced. There were no games, no unspoken resentments, just genuine connection. Emma must have noticed. She sent me a message one night out of the blue. "Hey, can we talk?" My gut told me what this was about. I didn't respond right away, but eventually, I agreed to meet for coffee. When I saw her, she looked different. Tired, maybe even regretful. She said things with her coworker hadn't worked out and that she'd been missing what we had. I listened but kept my guard up. She tried to reminisce about our past, about all the trips and late-night conversations we shared. She even admitted that the open relationship idea had been a huge mistake. I nodded politely but didn't give her the answer she was clearly hoping for. When she asked if we could try again, I told her the truth. I'd moved on, and I was happy. Her eyes welled up, and she whispered, "So that's it?" I simply said, "Yeah, that's it." She left without finishing her coffee. It was surreal, seeing the woman who once held my heart now looking like a stranger. Months passed, and Sarah and I grew closer. She supported my passions, encouraged my growth, and never made me feel like I wasn't enough. We traveled together, laughed until our cheeks hurt, and built something far stronger than I'd ever had before. Sometimes, I'd run into Emma around town. We'd exchange polite nods, but nothing more. I could tell she regretted her choices, but that wasn't my burden to carry anymore. I'd given her exactly what she asked for, and in doing so, I gave myself the chance to find someone who truly valued me. Looking back, I realized Emma's request for an open relationship wasn't the end of my world. It was the beginning of a better one. It pushed me to step out of a love that was already slipping away and into a life filled with purpose, adventure, and a partner who genuinely had my back. The irony is, Emma thought an open relationship would open her world. In reality, it just closed the door on us and opened one for me. I don't hate her for it anymore. In a strange way, I'm grateful. Without that painful conversation, I might never have met Sarah or discovered the version of myself I am now. Now, every time I stand on a mountain peak during a hike with Sarah by my side, I remember that dinner conversation with Emma, not with bitterness, but with a quiet smile. Because sometimes losing someone isn't a loss at all. Sometimes, it's the best thing that could ever happen to you. And in my case, it was the moment I truly found myself, and the love I deserved all along.